Have you ever heard about Greek myths? If you didn't or have no interest in them, then I must introduce a book to you, and it will definitely change your mind about Greek myths. Lord of the Silver Bow is written by David Grenville, who is a famous historical fantasy novelist in Britain. I think most of you have heard about the Trojan War, even though you don't really know much about the historical facts. Lord of the Silver Bow is based on a Greek myth, the Trojan Horse. The Trojan Horse is a tale from the Trojan War about the subterfuge that the Greeks used to enter the city of Troy and win the war. In the canonical version, after a fruitless 10-year siege, the Greeks constructed a huge wooden horse and hid a select force of men inside. The Greeks pretended to sail away, and the Trojans pulled the horse into their city as a victory trophy. That night, the Greek force crept out of the horse and opened the gate for the rest of the Greek army, which had sailed back under cover of night. The Greeks entered and destroyed the city of Troy, decisively ending the war. The story first starts with the Egyptian shipwreck survivor called Gershom, who seeming nothing to do with the swindle. After that, he was rescued by a ship called the Santos and began his new journey. In the next part of the story, it talks about a girl saw a man who made her thought about God, standing on the cliff when she went to the temple of Apollo to praise to Apollo about her mother's serious disease. Then, the story jumped to the feeling of love and faith of a pretty hawker to her customers. In fact, the use of writing the above scenes is to carry out the prince, the master of the Santos, and one of the main characters, Helicon. There are many books like Troy's talks about the Trojan Wars and the love story between the Trojan prince Paris and a beautiful Spartan girl called Hannah. But while Lord of the Silver Bow is different from all of them, Lord of the Silver Bow, David Grenville tries to reduce parts that include myths and history factors. Instead, he portrayed the characters back to imperfect mortals. This increased the character's sense of reality and to readers to have a feeling of empathy when reading the books. In addition, readers will easily feel resonance and they will worry about the characters when they died or injured during the Trojan War. There are three main characters in the Lord of the Silver Bow. The first one is Ananis, following by Andromache and Argeus. First of all, Ananis is a prince, but people often call him Helicon. He was a hero in the story and fought against many enemies that are stronger than him. The second one is Andromache. Andromache is a princess from Thera. From the book, we can see her perseverance and super archery. For example, he has won an archery competition with a king who is also skillful in archery. The last main character is Anguirus. He was a loyal warrior but tragically exiled from the king. At first, he was one of the enemies of Helicon, but after several years, they had become friends due to the different wars. At the beginning of the story, there isn't any relationship between three of them. However, because of the twist of fate, their lives have been linked together by the revenge, bloody war, and tricks. Lord of the Silver Bow mainly talks about Helicon. Within 400 pages, David Grenville has written his story fantastically. From his tragic life experience to the love story with Andromache, David Grenville expressed his sympathy and prayers to him. When describing the mentoring relationship and friendship with the clever but ugly King Odenes and the deed that Helicon turned hostility into friendship and fought with Anguirus to fight against the intrepid Messenian, the author praised his heroic deeds and loyalty to his friend. The story also includes several incineration and strategy, which makes the story full of excitement. You will never feel bored when reading it. I love this book a lot and I hope to introduce it to all of you. This is because Lord of the Silver Bow describes different main characters in each chapter. This allows readers to understand the incident in distinctive angles and to find out the different characters of the characters. By this method, readers may be able to find out the weaknesses of the main characters and the insidious side of a hero. However, you may think that it is difficult to follow as it requires a lot of concentration. Conclude, under David Granmont's pen, the characters are no longer heroes or evils. The heroes could have their dark sides and the evils may be kind to others. They are just like normal people in our daily life. If you ask me to recommend a book that's full of excitement and criticism against humanity, I would definitely recommend this book to all of you. I hope you can enjoy this book and be ready to go on a journey with Harlequin.